Hello there. I am Thomas Parker, second year student of Huddersfield's Game Design course. As part of one of our modules, we have been tasked to build a single level in a game of our own creation, which must be made in Unreal Engine 4 and must not, under any circumstances, be a walk simulator. With that out of the way, allow me to show you the game I'm working on. While looking for inspiration, I came across a truly fascinating game called Flower. Created by that game company, the development of this game was quite different from traditional ones, as it focused not on game mechanics, but the emotions that they wanted the player to experience, a philosophy reflected in all of their games. This practice intrigued me, and after playing the game myself, I developed the idea of a low-poly adventure game that centered around music. I also took inspiration from the gameplay, while adding my own spin to it. Now, allow me to show you how the game will work. The player takes on the role of a small spirit named Aria, who appears in an orchestra stage surrounded by musical instruments. Your objective is to collect musical notes that appear throughout the level, and once you have collected a certain number, a special note called a crescendo will appear next to one of the instruments. Once you have acquired the crescendo, an instrument will be brought to life, and a musical score will be added to the soundtrack. And that is the basics of the gameplay, collecting notes and acquiring the crescendos of each instrument to breathe life anew to the orchestra. While the gameplay was designed to be quite simple and easy to learn, designing it this way proved to be a formidable but not impossible challenge. To begin, let me start by showing you the first challenge I faced, the cutscenes. Animating the cutscenes proved to be quite simple. All that was required was to create a matinee and then create a camera actor to move across the level. Then it was a simple matter of creating a trigger that would activate the animation when the player passed through it. Making the nodes appear in sequence proved to be a more challenging endeavor. Fortunately, I devised a solution to this problem. In addition to this code, which basically tells the note that if the player comes into contact with it, the particle system will go off, a sound effect will play, and finally, the note actor will be destroyed. Affecting the note's visibility required me to create a new variable, this one to be precise. I named the variable visible control, and by adding a set variable node to the construction script, it allowed me to add a new setting to the note actor that would turn its visibility on or off whenever I wished. With this new variable to assist me, I was able to toggle the visibility of the notes so that they would appear after the particle system had activated. While this issue had its fair share of problems, there was one that proved infinitely more so, and that issue was this. As you saw in the gameplay demonstration, the player character is constantly moving, and this was the key to the issue. You see, as I was developing the animations, I discovered that the player character would still be moving even as the animations were playing. This proved to be a considerable problem, as many solutions were considered to combat it, but most yielded unfruitful results. However, after much trial and error, a solution was found in the form of a new variable called paused. This particular variable was a boolean, which informs the code that one of two things will happen, which depend on specific conditions being fulfilled. As you see here, if the conditions are false, the character will move as normal. However, if it is true, the character will stop for a specified period of time. Using this new variable, I added a set node that informed the code that if the player character hits a trigger box, they would stop moving as the animation was playing, and once the animation was over, the character would be able to move again. This was the last challenge I faced during the game's current development. However, what I have in store for this game may prove to be an even greater one. This is Persona, a multi-purpose animation toolset designed to help you edit skeletal meshes, animation blueprints, as well as any other animation-based asset. These changes can range from previewing animations to adding effects to existing ones. For example, you could add a particle effect to an animation that would activate whenever the character took a step. As you can see, I attempted to use Persona to create a trumpet animation for when it came to life. But my first attempts at this time proved problematic. But it is my intention to study the toolset further so that I may create an animated character for the completed version of this game. And this brings us to the conclusion of our look at the technical elements of my game. I have no doubt that there will be a great many challenges still ahead of me as I continue to develop my game, but I have strived at all times to be the best I can be, and I have no doubt that I shall create a truly unique game.